believe in this room, 4 or 5 of you have never seen me. I'm the bulldog this morning.
Bulldog.
I look like one, don't I? I was last here 8 months ago, so it has been quite a while. The Toastmaster of the day has missed out one segment during the introduction. For Jermaine and for Wesley, who are school teachers, they can tell you who master teachers are. I trained master teachers over 2 days on Say It Well. Word of the day, I mentioned that I did not impose on you to use. Anyway, some of you use. Ethan, Aziza, Flex, Grace, Chok Lei Ngo, and one other speaker. Commendable. I shall divide my feedback into 3 broad categories. I'll make it to 2. I'll dispense with the first. Win, short, pit. Windfall, if you buy Toto, you get a windfall. The bonus, the beautiful words, I shall dispense with this. I'll focus on the other 2. Shortfall, as in grammatical mistakes made, and pitfall, as in pronunciation pitfall. Because I believe that in these 2 segments, there will be more things to learn, rather than the creative usage of language. My role is not to perform any magic or any tricks, not a mini presentation, but to evaluate the words and the language, spoken language, used by anybody, everybody during the meeting. I will not only tell you the mistakes, I will also share with you the grammatical rule, as well as the preferred pronunciation or standard pronunciation. Ask yourself, is it critical to speak correctly? As professionals, our credibility is at stake whenever we speak. He is actually from the Affairs Office. Either he is from the Affairs Office or he isn't. There's no actually where I'm concerned. A good health, the article is unnecessary. Good health will be fine. Blessed New Year. Blessed is usually used as a verb. A blessed New Year as an adjective. When you tell us, or when we use local expressions like buat bodoh, others may not understand. Buat means to make. Bodoh means silly or stupid. To translate, not literally, it means pretend, pretending. Behind our back, those who have been here much earlier to do the setup, they are not behind our back. They are those performers behind the scene. Because they came earlier, we have not seen them doing all the hard work. Breastbone, flex, is a sternum, right? Sternum, right. So when we use jargon, many may not know. I studied physiology when I was a school teacher for physical education. Hence, I could recall breastbone. During his speech, 4 times the word was being used. Preferred will be presenting his speech or her speech. There was a senior Toastmaster, a distinguished Toastmaster, a past international director. He said, chicken feet, F-E-E-T, is chicken feed, F-E-E-D. Hot sun. Is the sun supposed to be cold? Sun has to be hot, right? So the word hot is redundant. Just the sun will do. To go and see your relatives. Instead of 3 words, just 1 word, visit. Economy of words, to visit the relatives, rather than go and see. We all know this is a case of assumption. What makes you think that all of us, we all know whatever you're referring to? Unless we read widely, we listen to the news. The swimming pool has 3 pools. Swimming pool, there's only 1 pool. How do we divide it into 3 pools? The swimming complex has 3 pools. At the home, in this case, the article the is unnecessary. At home, I was at home. Unless you are referring to at the home of the aged or the underprivileged. We save the best for last, meaning the speaker. You're saving the best for last. To me, this is very prejudiced, very biased. You're saving the best for last just because the final speaker was a lady. Talk a lot. What's the difference between talk a lot and speak a lot? As the guest who has already left mentioned. Yes, we talk a lot, informally. But over here, we speak. For those who know me, I don't talk a lot. I'm quite quiet and quite an introvert. But I do speak a lot. Big difference. Again, for those who know me, the word good has been overused, overworked. I'll share just a couple of examples from you. Nice to hear from you, nice. It was a joy to hear from you. The other word is, of course, good. And again, for those who have heard me many, many times, you have used words like fantastic morning, fabulous morning, wonderful morning, wonderful, rather than good morning. Good companion, faithful companion, referring to the dog. Good things, positive things. Good start, excellent start. Good example, fine example. For suggestion, I would suggest. Suggest and suggestion, both words have the same root word, suggest. For suggestion, I would offer to you. Very Jude. What's the translation for Jude? Referring to his name? Jude is quite colloquial, isn't it? For those who are unfamiliar, uninitiated. So do translate. What's the difference between last and final? The last speaker. In a race, whether it's swimming or sprints, the last, he was last. But for speakers, for evaluators, try to use the word final. The final speaker, the final evaluator. She is pretty fluent. By using pretty, does that enhance the word fluent? Rather fluent? Quite fluent? To me, these words are unnecessary. Either she's fluent or very fluent. Try to avoid pretty fluent, rather fluent, quite fluent. Doesn't add much to the word that follows. Can I have? If you are in charge, you're in command, you're in control. You do not need to be polite, you do not need to ask for permission. For example, the timer will now give us his report. The R counter will now give us her report. Not necessary to ask for permission, can I have? In Toastmasters, in Lions Club, in Rotary Clubs, we leave all our titles, our honorific titles at the door. Here we are known by our Toastmasters titles. Hence, we don't mention Mr. Anand, for example, or Doctor. I know we have many PhDs. We don't need to use PhDs, the honorific title, or Reverend or Captain. So just Toastmasters title. Without much ado, without further ado, use of cliches, very weak, very stale, second-hand language, very tiring. Got money one. When we speak formally, try not to use Singlish. Is there money in the envelope? Program. Let's have a quick look at your program. I'm glad that over the years, much has improved, but I still notice a couple of areas whereby final touches can be made. 10:25 a.m. You're voting for the speaker, best prepared speech speaker. 11:25, you're voting for the person again, evaluator. 12 o'clock, after table topics, why are you voting for the best prepared speech evaluator. Typo error, table topic speaker. Okay? Speaker, evaluator, speaker. Look at the segment under winners for previous meeting. You're voting for the speech, best prepared speech, best speech evaluation, best table topic speech. So which is which? Consistency is not there. And again, on your voting slips, on the reverse of the program, you're voting for the person. So are you voting for the person, evaluator, speaker, or the speech and evaluation? So do make up your mind. Hence, have you been misled, misinformed, and misguided by previous language evaluators? I now come to the pitfalls, pronunciation pitfalls. We are all here to speak clearly, fluently, correctly. What happened to your club dictionary? Has it been sold to the second-hand book store? Because even though I teach phonetics, I'm trained in phonetics, I do not wish to mislead, misinform any one of you. I still need the dictionary to refer. I don't use the mobile phone, online dictionary. Pronunciation is about three main things. First is audibility. Are we loud enough to be heard? Second is clarity. Are we clear enough to be understood? And third is intensity in the voice, expressive enough to be enjoyed. These are what I picked up. Success, the pronunciation you hear from the news readers. Success. Sustain. Was it dog or doc? Listen to Jenny Ko. Every year, for the first 7 years, you can hear on the radio, I'm Jenny Ko, the executive director of King Koi. Referring to the fish, the king koi in a pot, she was referring to the mattresses, king coil, not koi. So over the past many years, she is still saying king koi. And you see the L was not evident, the consonant. But then she had an intrusive consonant, the year of the dog. The k. You mean the ship repair dog? She meant year of the dog. Sometimes missing consonant and intrusive consonant. The carrier bag, she was referring to carrier bag, as in tiffin carrier or aircraft carrier. Conclusion, seafarer, of course the speaker said it correctly, seafarer. What's the difference between hopeless and hopeless? There is a very short pause. Hopeless, no hope. Hopeless, useless. There's a big difference. Code, is it Morse code or quote, quotation? Two units of sounds, you combine, you get a diphthong, quote. Feedback for the horses, where you put the oats, or feedback, final consonant. Block or block, the K. Potential, to hone your skills. Same speaker for quite a number of years. Hone your skills, not hone your skills. Brand, B-R-A-N, referring to the cereal, or B-R-A-N-D, or brain. Do enunciate your words. Leg, as in jet lag, or leg, referring to our limb, leg. Confident, the final consonant T, or confidence, the S. Enunciate. Adjust. Some speakers are very fond of elongating the final consonant. Adjust, soft T sound. And do not stretch the T, adjust T. Metaphor, British is metaphor, American is metaphor. I prefer British. Hence, metaphorical, there's a difference. Metaphor and metaphorical. Acronym. Trade, trade fair, or trait, characteristic. First, animal first or first, big difference. I've heard from many speakers from various countries, from Japan, from Taiwan, from India, from China, from Vietnam. Try to reduce the accent. If you can't neutralize the accent, try to reduce the accent. If you study phonetics, these will be the words that you hear from the news readers. Experience, excruciating, excess. IK sound. Now the IG sound. Exactly, example. Stress on the second syllable. Aura, data, Alaska, pizza instead of pizza. Technology, analogy, command to praise or comment. Poem and poetic. IS, short. Vowel sound, is. EASE, long vowel sound, is. Fantastic. Make the word sound believable. Fantastic. And that is what we call intonation. In a spoken form, when the next word begins with a vowel sound, the verb becomes the. The audience, the evening. As a noun, it is response. Stress on the first syllable. As a verb, it is respond. Stress on second syllable. British versus American is your choice. Stance, dance. Stance, dance. Your choice. As a noun, it is control. As a verb, it is control. Finally, sustain, sustainable, but as a noun, it is sustenance. Big difference. The ability to communicate correctly, clearly, and confidently is critical and crucial. Over to you.
Thank you, Richard.